Hi class, Steve Cady here, and we are about to embark, or we are embarking on Management 3050 Principles of Organization and Management. And I'm going to walk you through in detail the class so that you can get off to a great start. We've got 6 weeks, not 16. We've got a lot of material, a lot of work, and I've done my best to try to create the most efficient way for you to get through the next 6 weeks and have a successful experience and also really find ways to apply these concepts to help you have a competitive advantage. I want to begin by saying that this course is all about you achieving your dreams. No matter what you do in whatever profession you are, and there's dozens of majors in this class, you're getting your degree to help you move to the next level. Once you have your degree, the intention is it gives you an opportunity that you didn't have before. And with that, the role that management plays, and the reason why it's required in almost any major, is you're going to be a leader and you're going to be a manager and you're going to find yourself organizing, leading, managing projects, people, units, working with others, having to do it in teams, having to do it as a department, having to do it in larger settings. And so this class will give you the language to help you and the tools and the techniques to help you be successful at helping and working with people and individually in teams and as a whole organization and be successful in that. Second thing is, if you're going to interview for a job and I want to hire you and I'm going to spend $50,000 to $150,000 on you through benefits and all kinds of other things that go into preparing and supporting you and being successful in whatever it is, a promotion, a new hire, whatever it might be. If I'm going to spend that money on you, I expect that you're coming in to do something that adds real value. I'm going to expect that you're going to work with other people. I'm going to expect that you know how to work with me as your manager, that you understand how organizations operate, that you understand all those fundamentals that are key to organizations being successful. That's what this class is about. It's going to give you the terms, the tools, give you the concepts, the frameworks, the research, the evidence, and everything that you need to be able to discuss with somebody what makes for a successful organization, what makes for a successful person in that organization, what makes for a successful team in that organization. And it will help you discuss it in an intelligent, confident way so that you will be able to be the one that they choose and say, we want this person working with us. They understand organizations. Not only are they great in fashion merchandising, or not only are they great in fire management, not only are they great in construction management or aviation or whatever it might be, or healthcare, whatever it might be, not only are they technically really great, I have a sense that this person is going to be someone that we can look to get things done with and through other people. That's what this course is going to give you an opportunity to have in your toolkit for success. So, part 1 of 2 in the course description, as you see here. So, very simply, I think Daniel Pink does a super job of really discussing why this is important. So I'd watch that, and I'm giving you my perspective on it. He'll give you a very good perspective on it. Then from there, you're going to go into the details of the syllabus here. And in the details of the syllabus, let me walk you through the course structure and design. I'm going to go give you an overview. I'll discuss the requirements. I'll discuss the schedule, and I'll give you some tips on time savers, a few other things around course policy, and so forth. So overview, let's jump in. So my name is Steve Cady. I am a professor of management, associate professor of management here at Bowling Green State University. I specialize in 2 areas of work: passion, motivation, and performance, how people find and live their calling in life. I'm fascinated by people who have done that and do that, and I try to learn from them and share that learning with others. Second is collaborative change. I work in the field of organization development. I'm particularly interested in how people better or more effectively or more profoundly collaborate to make things happen in the world together in ways that they couldn't do otherwise. And so those are the 2 areas I focus on, and I do a lot of consulting as well as writing, research, and practice, and those kinds of things while teaching in class. So with that, we'll have webinars, we'll have online sessions, and if you need me, get a hold of me. If you, I use primarily, and this is the most effective way, what it says there, use the Canvas inbox. Do not use the regular SKD email. I don't respond to that. You have to and must use the Canvas inbox. The reason being is because things get lost in the emails. There's all kinds of spam and all kinds of stuff coming into the SKD email. So if you use the Canvas inbox, it's all for the class. I can sort it by the class. I can search for you, and I can make sure I'm taking care of your needs. The structure of the class is chapters are like modules, or modules are chapters. And they're broken down by each module. And I take the first module as a chapter, and we go through an experience of learning the content. We'll be working with a cool simulation or a situation-based learning experience. We'll be working with that along with the material that we're learning and applying the concepts in that situation and using what's called the manager's application process, which is a great action research tool that you can put in your toolkit as a manager in any organization you go to. And so you will study content, you will apply it to solving, completing a mission and solving challenges that you'll get in IDC West. You'll learn more about that as we go. Some people have asked, can I open the whole course all at once? No. We are not a correspondence class. We are moving through the content together. But what I have done is within 6 weeks, is I've set it up so that you can get a lot done in the first week. You can move into the discussion in the second week, and then with your group through the discussion board. And you can really kind of manage your time over the course of the first 2 weeks, manage your time over the second 2 weeks, and manage your time over the third 2 weeks. So I think I found a nice balance there for you. Content. We're going to focus on 6 modules. Not 16, not 26, 6. We're going to dive in deep. We're going to go into the 6. I have experimented with 8, 10, 12. I have done research on creating the content for the class, writing and creating very concise content in the form of the fundamentals. I've studied the top 11 textbooks out there and boiled the content down to the fundamental content that managers need. With this class in the 6-week format and with the simulation situation-based learning experience that we're in, I'm looking at how to make this work and eventually bring teams into it. But we're not going to do teams. We're going to have discussion groups, but not teams with team projects, which I do if I have more time. So what we're going to do is we're going to focus on 6 really important areas of management. We're going to dive deep into those, and that is a very, very doable workload within a 6-week period. I typically would have 10 to 12 chapters in a 6-week period, but I really want to focus on the simulation, the content, and diving into it. So I hope you appreciate that piece. The second piece is that the book is free. I'm writing and creating content for you. You can print it or read it online. You're going to save $250 or more. And like I said, we're going to focus on 6 areas: fundamentals of management, human resource management, decision making, motivation, leadership, and groups. You can see we're looking at the individual, the group, and the whole organization. Those are the core ones that we're going to focus on, and we're going to focus on learning the content, the theory, the research, and the evidence related to this, and all the tools, and then we're going to practice those tools in a situation-based learning experience called IDC West. And I'll explain more of that as we go. The simulation, as I've mentioned, is a situation-based learning experience. It's Innovators .com IDC. You're going to jump in. It's a global idea company. You're going to face situations and solve challenges. You'll use the concepts from the class to help you. IDC is a fictitious company. It's being created as part of the class. And so I'm adding more content to what it is and so forth. And it's really kind of cool how it's coming to life. And you're on the ground floor. You'll be reviewing the scripts. I've actually now have created, the scripts have come to life with the student teams, and previous semesters have acted out the different episodes and the challenges, and they've acted them out, so you'll be able to read the scripts, watch episodes. Some of them are really good, some of them are funny, some of them are not so good, but in the end, the situation is there. You'll be able to apply concepts using the manager's application process, which means you diagnose, you intervene, you evaluate the impact, and you transfer the learning or transfer the impact. So I'll explain more of that. You'll be learning that as a part of the fundamentals chapter, the first chapter, chapter 1 or module, fundamentals module. As I mentioned, the flow of each chapter. So let's focus on the content. Every chapter, this is called Principles of Management. So each chapter is a principle, and it has a principle statement, which describes, it's a one-sentence statement of what we are looking at, what we're exploring on how to manage within. So as I mentioned earlier, if you go back here, you'll see fundamentals of management. So there's a principle statement around why are the fundamentals of management, or why is management important? So it's a one-sentence statement that kind of captures the principle of why management is important, or what is management. Then there's human resource management. There's going to be a principle statement that describes what is the most important piece around human resource management as you step into it as a manager. Decision making. It'll describe the phenomenon of decision making, the principle statement, and so forth. So you get the principle, and that's really the introduction to the chapter. You'll get the principle statement, and it'll overview what is this topic, why is it important for you to have it as a part of your toolkit as a manager. In addition, you're going to get episode 1 from IDC West there as well. You're going to be introduced to a problem. And the problem requires a mission that you are embarking on to solve a problem in that particular module. So episode 1 lays out the problem, and you can discern there's a mission for you to accomplish, to successfully complete, to turn the situation around. That's what the principle statement does. The principle section does. It gives you the content, the introduction to the chapter. It gives you episode 1, which lays out your big mission that you need to accomplish. Then you got the main content areas, 2 to 4 main content areas called competencies. The competencies are things that you need to be able to do. These are the skills, the 2 to 4 skills you need to have in order to successfully manage in an organization around that topic. So again, going back here, under human resource management, there are 3 main sections, 3 competencies. So there's 3 things you need to be able to do well as a manager to best manage human resources. Decision making has 2. There are 2 things, 2 competencies, 2 skill sets you need to be a great decision maker. Motivation has 3. There are 3 skill sets you need, 3 main competencies you need to be a successful motivator, and so forth. So you'll get the competency. With the competency, you're going to dive deeper into episode 1. You're going to be given a challenge. You're going to have a specific task to complete, to successfully complete. And this challenge that you have to solve is directly related to the mission. If you solve the challenge using the content from that competency area, then you successfully move on and you go to the next competency. You get that challenge related to that competency, learn the content, solve the problem, solve the challenge, complete the challenge, and then you move on. At the end, you'll get episode 2. That's the closing to the chapter. That's the conclusion of the chapter. And you'll get to watch episode 2. Episode 2 is a successful situation. This is the happy ending. Episode 1, things were a problem. Episode 2, it's a great ending experience. It's a successful experience. And so you're going to go to episode 2, review that, and you're going to see how the solving of each of the competency challenges, how those challenges, when solved successfully, led to episode 2 being a success. And you're going to see that there, and you're going to relate content and theory and terms from the content to episode 2 so you can notice the impact of the interventions. And this will make more sense to you. DIET, D-I-E-T. A Diet for Action Research is an article, and the manager's application process has 4 steps. Diagnose, intervene, evaluate, transfer. And so what you're going to do is you're going to determine a diagnosis and intervention for each of the competencies. You're going to go into competency challenge 1. It's going to give you a challenge. You've got to diagnose it, and then you've got to use the concepts from the chapter to help you diagnose it properly, and then pick the right intervention. Then you go to the next competency challenge. Find what terms and concepts will help you diagnose that situation and have the appropriate intervention. You do the same thing for the next competency. Once you've successfully completed the 3 competencies using the concepts, diagnosing and intervening in those situations, you then go to the end, episode 2, where you evaluate the impact. Did those interventions that you chose, did those solutions that you picked, did they work? You'll see it in episode 2. You go to episode 2, look in there, and you'll see the impact of those interventions. You'll say, oh, here's the intervention, there's the impact. I'm evaluating the impact. And then transfer. How do I transfer the learning? How do I transfer this? How do we, now that we got a solution, now that it worked, what do we need to do? What can I learn from it so that I can use it in other situations, transfer it to other situations, and to make that situation stick, make the solution stay, and continue to have a positive impact over time. Principle, competencies, and then the conclusion, which is the integration. So here's a visual. You have your principle, you have your episode 1, scan the situation, you have your content. You can take a mini quiz, not for a grade, it's a practice quiz. And you scan the situation, defining the who, what, when, and where, as well as what's the mission you're trying to complete. Then you go to each competency, get your challenge, look at the content. You can take a mini quiz to help you practice with the content to get ready for the graded quiz. And then you solve the challenge, diagnose and intervene. You do that for each of the competencies, then you move to your debrief. Look at episode 2. Sometimes there's a content and a mini quiz there, and then you debrief. You evaluate the impact of those interventions in step 2, and you look at transfer and explore how to transfer the learning and the impact and sustain it. Completing the assignments. Here's another way of thinking about it. So what's really important. So you got week 1 and 2, week 3 and 4, week 5 and 6. So 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. Think of it in those chunks. The first week and the second week, and then you're gonna have the first week and second week for the middle, and then you're gonna have the first week and second week for the end. So think of 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks as you break down the content. Then the first 2 weeks have 2 modules. The second 2 weeks have 2 modules, and the third 2 weeks have 2 modules. The first 2 weeks have 2 modules plus 1 discussion board. The same thing with the second 2 weeks, the same thing for the third 2 weeks. I'm repeating myself over and over, but I'm doing that just to make sure that you're hearing it and I'm helping you. So, first week, look at the module as a chapter, read the content, take your practice quizzes within that content, and then once you've taken all your practice quizzes, after reading the content, taking some practice quizzes, you take the official graded quiz for the whole module. You also complete your individual discussion board. Complete the discussion board, the mission, and solve the challenges for both modules. So you got to complete the first week module and the second week module in the discussion board. You have to take the test, the quiz, for the first module in week 1, and you take the quiz for the second module in week 2. I'm spreading it out for you, but you're going to need to go through both modules in week 1 and take the practice quizzes and all that stuff, complete the first week quiz for the first module, get the discussion board completed for both modules, and then in the second week you have a discussion with your group about all the posts that you saw, and you generate a discussion, you dig deep, talk to each other, you pose questions to each other, you get to know each other. As I've mentioned before, use it as an opportunity to really learn from each other. People are coming to your class and in your group that have great experiences. Learn from their best practices, learn from their failures, learn from other things that they can share, their stories, the skills, the experiences that they bring. Get to know each other and use the topics that are for this first and second week. Use those 2 modules to generate discussion on how you can be a better manager in using those 2 modules and the concepts from those 2 modules. Once you're done with the second week and you've posted your 3 really thoughtful discussions, and what I will tell you is you need to have 3 really good ones. If you have 5 or 6 or 7, I'll look at the best 3 in addition to your first post. You have to have your first post in week 1. Then you go back and you keep posting and have a discussion. And as long as you have 3 really strong discussion posts, thoughtful replies, and those kinds of things, you'll get full credit. And remember, the quizzes are worth 50%, the discussion is worth 50%. And we've got 6 weeks. So it's really important that you're on top of this right out of the gates and get off to a really great start. So the requirements, I've been alluding to them. It's 100 percentage points. You get 3 discussion forums, 6 quizzes. Actually, it's 7 quizzes, because you get a quiz over the requirements for the class, the syllabus, and everything else. So I'm going to be changing that. You see it where it says 6? It's going to be 7 quizzes, and it's going to be worth 50%. Let me go in here, and I'll actually do that right now. And I want to get that done. So again, You have 3 discussion forums, 7 quizzes, and it's broken into 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. In the first 2 weeks, you have 1 discussion forum where you post in the first week and you have a great group discussion in the second week. You also have 2 modules. You're going to get the first module done in the first week, the second module done in the second week in terms of the quiz. You've got to take the test in the first week and take the test in the second week. Your discussion board needs to, discussion forum post is based on both modules. And so that's really important for you to keep in mind. So let's see here. This is taking its time, taking its time. So where is that? It is, come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, right. It's taking some, I like to use Google, but Google can be a little slow sometimes. Here we go, right there. So this is 7 quizzes. They're both worth, the 3 discussion forums and the 7 quizzes are worth 50% each. You're going to have a quiz in the first 2 weeks. You're going to have 2 quizzes in the first week and then a 3rd quiz in the second week, because you're going to have a quiz over all the course materials, the syllabus, that's STA, that's the Start Here quiz, and then the Fundamentals of Management quiz, that's in the first week. Second week, you're going to jump into Human Resource Management. And then you're going to have a discussion forum, as I mentioned, and so forth. So with that, let me come back in here, discuss that. And schedule. Here it is. I've been alluding to it, so let me lay it out again. And again, I'm taking my time, and so listen through all the stuff. It'll help you have a good start and have a good, successful 6 weeks. In week 1, Start Here, STA. That's an overview of the class. Fundamentals of Management is the first module. You basically will have a quiz. It's due on each one of those, STA and Fundamentals, on Monday at 11 p.m. on May 23rd. So as you see there where it says week 1, May 16th through the 23rd, each class goes through the week, weekend, and Monday, and then the next module starts on Tuesday. I do that intentionally so that you have the week to work. Those that want to work early are great. Those that want to work during the week, maybe take some time off on the weekend and come back and wrap it up on that Monday, you can do that. Those that want to work fully on the weekend have that opportunity to do it and maybe just clean it up on Monday. So I found that doing it through the weekend and finishing on Monday was the most friendly and most helpful to people and students in a variety of different work environments and situations and so forth that they're in over the course of a 6-week class. With that, you're going to not only finish the quiz for STA and FUN by Monday, you're also going to post your first discussion board, and that's due by Monday as well. And you're going to have, generally it's 5 questions, and it's going to be about 1,500 words to your post. You're going to have 3 of them, and you're going to post that. Then what's going to happen is the next week you're going to be having a discussion. Human Resource Management is due by Monday the following week on May 30th. However, you can take it sooner. So you can manage those 2 modules, all of that, and get it done very soon. And your second week can be really about discussion. Now that's up to you to do. So I give that opportunity, I give that option to you. Now with that, in your second week, starting Tuesday, the 24th of May, it's important for you to go back in, read everybody's discussion, and begin to have a group discussion. I leave it to you to be good questioners, to be good conversationalists, to create conditions where you all are digging deeper. Use it as a mini think tank, roundtable discussion where you all are helping each other be better. Bring a problem and say, you know what, based on this, I have this problem I'd like to get some help on. Pose a problem. And then people will help you with it and help you use the different techniques that you all are learning to solve it. Someone may say, hey, you know, you work in that job field industry. I really think that's amazing. Can you tell me more about it within the context of what we're learning right now? Dig deeper with each other. Learn from each other. Maybe pose a question about the content and you're trying to wrestle with something, you're not quite sure you understand how it applies or why it's relevant. Ask somebody to help you dig deeper and figure out why it's relevant. Somebody may have posted something that you really agree with and think it's awesome and you never thought about it before. Tell them that, talk with them, and give them a question to take it deeper. Maybe you disagree with somebody. Give them your answer, give them their answer, and have a little bit of a debate. Friendly, good, quality debate. Bottom line, you're in small groups that are think tank roundtable groups. In your group, you will have talented people who can really take your thinking further and help you all become better at managing and leading in the world. So use it as a great opportunity to learn from each other and take it further. That's what you do between May 24th and May 30th in that second week in week 2. Once you're done and you've posted your discussion at the end of the week, I will evaluate this. I'll evaluate your work. And what I'll do is I'll be grading you based on complete, professional, and thoughtful. When you go to the discussion board post, I gave a lengthy discussion around how to post, what to do, how I evaluate. There's a whole bunch of support. There's a support document there. There's an explanation. There's examples. So go to the discussion board forum, click on it, review through it, listen to my audio recording there for the week 1 and 2 discussion board post, and that'll help you. So there's week 1 and 2. Once week 1 and 2 are done, I'll evaluate your discussion board post as well as your conversation you have with your group. I'll evaluate you on a score of 1 to 3. You'll get 3 evaluations. That's week 1 and 2 discussion, week 1 and 2 discussion, week 3 and 4 discussion, and week 5 and 6 discussion. So my encouragement to you is do not waste time, put things off. It will come back to haunt you in a 6-week course, and you don't want to get off on a bad foot because your grade will suffer and it'll be hard to pull yourself back out of that hole. So get off to a really good start. The second 2 weeks, which is weeks 3 and 4, will focus on motivation and decision making. Same pattern. Take your quiz in week 3 for motivation. You can even take the quiz for decision making in week 3 if you want. And you need to do the discussion post by the end of week 3. No discussion during week 3. It's posting your first post to the questions, your response to the questions. Then, between June 7th and 13th, come back in and have a conversation with your group and take it deeper. And have that all completed by the 13th. Then you come down to, I like this way, let me try this, this is new. Oh yeah, it's a new feature in Google. So now you come down to the last 2 weeks and you got leadership and groups and teams. You have over here, you've posted your discussion, your answer to the questions. You can do the quiz. You can do the quiz for both of them anytime during the 2 weeks. You then have your post by June 20th, and then between June 21st and the 24th, which is the end. I can't allow you the weekend, so it's a little compact there. You got the 21st to the 24th Friday to have your group discussion. It wraps up on Friday, and I will evaluate and give you your grades. Okay? So let's move from there. General scheduling. Modules are spread out over 2 weeks. That should make sense. The modules will be made available on Tuesdays, completed by the next Monday at 11 p.m. It gives you the weekend to finish and wrap up on Monday, and works for different styles, for different types of, we have non-traditional students and people doing all kinds of cool stuff around the world, so I hope that it supports you in your particular work style. Still keeps us up beyond a correspondence, maintains the integrity of our degree. At BGSU is continuing to rise in the rankings as an established, reputable institution of higher education. And so it's important that we utilize things beyond correspondence courses and go deeper and use these applied learning techniques and really push you to be the quality students that you are, because you're making a great name for the university out there. 3 there, it says module quizzes. There's no essays. Really, your discussion board posts are like an essay. So your essays and your discussion board posts really are together. You're going to be doing the first part of your discussion board is your response to the questions, which is like an essay, and then a conversation second. And so I would probably go in and make sure that I fix that, because I think that is not clear. I want to make sure I get that done. let's see here. I'll say quizzes and discussion board posts, which is the questions and conversation. And the questions are essay-oriented. So they are essay-oriented questions. So, come back here. And I think the other thing here is that you look at Canvas calendar in the modules, the official guide for due dates. Everything will be in the calendar and you'll see it. I'll be releasing the modules as we go. The first two are released right now. So you've got STA and you've got FUN and HUM, Human Resource Management. Those three are available right now. Once we wrap up after the second week and starting on Tuesday, the next two modules will become available. And you can set the notifications to remind you of due dates and those kinds of things for the quizzes as well as the discussion forums. And you have a large window of time to get your work done. And I expect that you'll plan accordingly, start early. If you wait to the last minute and come, oh, I couldn't get it done, I just had a glitch or something like that, I'm not going to be as patient with you. Unless you really can show me that you were planning accordingly, doing things appropriately, and there's an acceptable excuse. I'm just not real patient with people that wait to the last second and then try to make excuses for not getting things done on time, and they're frustrated and the quality of the work is not there. You've got large windows of time to get things done well, large windows of time to have a great discussion. So I expect and want you all to have that. I'm doing 6 modules so that you can go deeper and have a great learning experience. So we're not doing a fire hose approach and you're just kind of giving everything, you're just kind of drinking from a fire hose. You really are going to learn how to apply the most important concepts in management right now over the next 6 weeks. For those students that read the syllabus carefully, you'll find the flow easy to follow. For those that don't, I'll get an email and say, I don't understand. What do you mean by week 1, week 2? I don't understand what I'm supposed to do. And I'll ask, did you listen to this video? Did you watch the video? Did you listen to the recording? And they'll be like, well, you know, I kind of did. No, listen to this. I'm going to say it in the announcement very succinctly. I'm taking a good bit of time here, but listening to this for just 1 hour and an online class as opposed to 1 hour sitting in class and making sure you go through this and really understand it, I think it will make us all have a great experience together. And I want these discussions in your group to be an amazing experience. I want you to be like curious. Who am I going to be paired with in my group? And I wonder what the gift is that I'm going to get. What's the gift I'm going to give? What's going to happen because somehow synchronously we have been put together and there's something special that's going to happen here. It's up to you to make that happen. And so I think making sure you really understand how the course flows, understanding how the framework is, and the mechanics of the class, understanding all of that will help you have a great experience. And so I'm going to be telling people, if you ask me a silly question, if somebody in your group may ask a silly question, just tell them, hey, make sure you watch the video and take the time to listen to it once or twice. It'll save everybody a ton of time. I'm only speaking to those of you out there that don't do it, because pretty much the people listening to me right now, you are the ones that do it and are doing it right and are going to find it easy to follow, and you'll be just fine. So I'm kind of giving you the words to hopefully say to the others that don't watch this. So time savers. Notifications. Learn how the notifications work. Click there. It'll make your life, you can have it text you, you can have it send a homing pigeon to your window and tap on your window and remind you of something. The notifications are really convenient through email, texting, and so forth. The gradebook, you can find out more about grade notifications there. The Canvas calendar is what we'll use to guide us. Canvas help is right there. If you have problems, use a screenshot. If there's anything not working, click on the help in Canvas, and then in the help in Canvas, go in and say, I got a problem, and say it's urgent, or say I can't get anything done. Post your screenshot there. If you have an issue where something's not working, so you had a problem and it's a legitimate issue, and you're like, you know, I'm pretty easy going, and I'm very supportive of people who have relevant needs that are related to their work, their family, and those really important core values that we all have. If something's related to that, something's related to your health, something's related to that you couldn't do, you couldn't avoid, you're going to find me the most supportive and helpful to you. And if something's going and you can't understand something in the technology, take a screenshot of it. As long as I have evidence, as long as I can verify, then I have the reason to be as accommodating and supportive of you as I can.